Good morning. Welcome to Flat Earth Early Bird number 2487. I'm your host Arwin, and before I start the show, please don't forget to share it. To support me through the PayPal, Patreon, Gifts and Go. Links are in the description box below, or send me super chat over at the Rumble live chat when the show is live, or subscribe to my right. Weather today, yeah, it switched right back from sunny clear blue skies to big gray soup. So yeah, it was nice. It's in a little bit at night. Everybody out there was kind of in a little bit just having parties or something. Even like it was kind of disruptive. Just this bass that was resonating all like throughout the building. Not like it wasn't inside here, but like somebody a bit further away. I don't know exactly. That bass was just buzzing right through the entire building. Not super loud, but loud enough to take notice. So like a lot of people were just like restless and high energy yesterday, I think. Right, feels different today though. It's probably gonna be a lot calmer. Right, no direct sunlight though, and it's not exactly warm. It's not exactly warm out there. Right. Hope everybody's having a great day, having a great weekend, had a great Saturday. It is Sunday, the 14th of December 2025. Temperature is 8 degrees Celsius with 89% humidity, 16 kilometers an hour wind, and 18% precipitation. Huh. According to the weather, it might clear up a bit. Okay, well, wouldn't be able to tell that from the way it's looking right now. And there's no longer a forecast of a completely sunny Monday. I guess that happened yesterday. Weird. Now it's just like, okay, it's cloudy and a bit sun. I mean, the same that forecast for today, so it's probably just gonna be exactly like this. Is my prediction. Right. Anyway. It is, yeah. Oh wait, I already said that. Yeah, yesterday was I thought it was a pretty great show. It's really nice moving in with Earth Awakenings. I might do that again today, but I don't know, maybe I won't. It all depends on what I feel like. Right, doesn't always have to be a 3-hour show every day. It actually messed up my my lunch a bit, which I'm, by the way, having a lot of trouble with recently. But I already mentioned that it's been a while like that now. It's like I just get sick of it. It's weird. So yeah, there's some health things going on with me. I don't know exactly how to interpret it yet. Not entirely sure what it is, whether it's like the smart meter or whether it is the falling off of the supplements that I've been used to for a very long time. I don't know exactly what it is, but I just feel off a little. And yeah, I'm just gonna try to take care of myself and hope it doesn't get worse. That are just those two factors. It is also just that it is peak winter and that is the dark days, and that always has had that influence, even when I was taking supplements and when there was no smart meter. It pretty much happens every year. Like, as far as I can remember, I'm usually a little bit more high energy around this time. Was taking supplements and when there was no smart meter unnecessarily right. Anyway, yeah, I got the PayPals for my buddies, which is great. I mean, real relief. And of course the Rumble cash out to look forward to, even though that's still going to be a week away. But I mean, it's still great. Just less things to worry about for me. Right. And yeah, even of course there was like the whole me logging out of Discord, having to create a new account and redo it all. Like that did sit a bit bad, but it seems like it's all just gonna be alright. It's gonna maybe take some time before I get like everybody back in. I mean, at least I got Gaining Wisdom in there as a start, and hopefully the rest will follow whenever they feel like it, whenever they have time. Maybe they don't necessarily want to. I'll just keep contact with them through Microsoft Teams. Right. So, yeah, that's going on, and there's been tons of stuff in the news. A bunch of shootings. What the? Ugh. In America and now in Australia. Bondi Beach. What the fuck? And there was a supposed Islamic terror attack in Germany on the Christmas market. They always try that shit, but it was foiled. Good, because I mean that happens like every year. So it's good that the police forces there are now really played into this. Because I mean, yeah, as long as you're gonna have that many migrants around of that sort, it's gonna keep happening. Because they always they're so insanely compelled to always like disturb any Christmas things. It's so annoying. It's very tedious that they do that. Anyway. But yeah, that's happening. Let's see what else. Yeah, it looks like NATO plans are kind of like starting to disintegrate, which is great. And I mean, it's reflecting on Rutte, the NATO head, who is like obsessively trying to seed more Russia-phobia all the time. He's doing that all the time, like even pretending like he's so afraid of them. But it's like the guy is such a sociopath actor. It's really tedious. And it would be incredible if anybody actually falls for that kind of acting. But yeah, it does seem like the situation might actually be stopped, so maybe... yeah. It's just that it's been taking so damn long, and it's like, oh yeah, every time it said like, oh, we're gonna stop it now, or we're gonna stop it now, and then it doesn't stop. This would be like the 4th time. But maybe now, with the Christmas ultimatum for Zelensky, as it's being called, yeah, maybe it will actually stop this time. But I mean, I feel like it won't, and then it's up to Trump to actually then not just do the same thing over and over again, but actually like not fall for some stupid false flag trick, which, if that's gonna happen, is obviously Zelensky's doing. Because I mean, he is the one that is interested in just keeping that war going forever, no matter what. So, and everybody knows that, and so should the Trump administration. It's ridiculous if they pretend like they don't know that that's going on. So yeah, maybe there's a good chance that it will stop. I really hope so. But yeah, and I mean, for Ukraine too, I mean, they lost so many people, it's insane. I think like their population is like half now. It's like half of what it was before this war. Something like that. I'm not sure, it's unclear exactly how many actual losses, but I mean, it's crazy. Low viscosity. Yeah, he's preparing for World War III. Yeah, I know, viscosity. He's ridiculous. I mean, if he's gonna prepare for that, well then that's because it's against him. But it really does at this point look like the US is not gonna be on NATO's side. Might even step out of it. It's certainly being recommended. And Trump is like showing signs of losing complete patience with all of it. So yeah, maybe, or maybe it'll carry on another year or another 10 years. I don't know. I don't know anymore. I mean, I still do not have like trust in the Trump administration, because I still do have a suspicion that there is a weird entanglement happening of interest where Trump seems to want to kind of like protect the deep state, not remove it. Like, it's like, no, like he thinks he can maneuver them all into basically stop doing that and let's get all back together. Well, that's crazy. Like, no, it won't work. That was like, it can never work, and it's ridiculous to be idealistically naive enough to think that that could work. That's like the idealism that I would have had when I was like a teenager, and it's really tedious once you actually figure out how naive that is. And yeah, I just really hope it's not that, and that it's not, yeah, that he's just gonna do what is necessary, because that's really what it's all about. It's about doing what is really necessary, not trying to spare any kind of feelings. Just do what is necessary, and that's it. Right. Let's take a sip of this. Alright, it might also the whole what Rutte is doing, a good distraction for what is also going on is this incredible, insane, evil crackdown on farmers, where it seems like the government just wants to confiscate all their land because they're making it impossible for them to just farm. Like, this is not environmental restrictions that are like, oh, you got to do this to save the environment while you continue. Now it's like, here are the rules, and like that literally makes it impossible to do that, to farm. That's insane. That's sabotage, and it's a assault on our national interest. It's an attack on the people. Attack on our farmers is an attack on our people because that's our acute food source. So it might be just a big distraction maneuver from that rolling out and from the farmer protests that are now engaging. Right. Let's see what else is going on out there. Oh yeah. Whoa. Man. ICE removed 10,000 truck drivers from the road for failing English tests. 10,000, that is huge. It's just crazy, that many of them driving trucks. Whew. Well, they're certainly keeping busy. Oh yeah, and some freaking terror attack in Syria, and Trump is like talking about retaliation, so I think that might be another freaking neocon thing they're gonna do again. Although it might just be like a singular strike and that's it, something, I don't know. But yeah, something happened again in Syria. ISIS ambush in Syria. What, wasn't like this new moderate president supposedly off that side? Yeah, it's I mean, maybe that guy's gonna be now put in a more disgraced light, even though he just went around the world and making diplomatic visits, even though he had not too long before that been on a terrorist watch list. Crazy. Anyway, so yeah, it is, you could argue it is a bit of a false flag in Attack Season 2 with radical Islamists going after Christmas stuff, which is very tedious, trying to ruin that. And I don't know, political messing about. I mean, especially like with Ukraine, with Trump setting the deadline on Christmas, like that will like enhance tensions that'll affect everybody else, like in all other situations. So yeah, it's probably going to be quite a tense Christmas this Christmas. So I don't know, let's hope it won't be that bad, because I mean that's just tedious for everybody. Usually Christmas dinners and all that bring tensions by their own, just through confrontation with the family, and because of the time of the year, because there's this energy, and it's usually a high energy, but also more easily irritated. Like, it's high energy but unstable. That's usually there around Christmas and around this whole time period, the dark days. The veil is thinner, they say. It kind of starts at at Halloween, and then in the dark days, which this is part of, it becomes the most palpable. And like people can get depressed and that kind of thing and might struggle or yeah, and I mean that's what I'm having. I mean I'm having a bit of physical issues and like I don't know, but I'm like pulling through though, because I don't know, I have built for myself a new directive that's underlying all of it, and that's something that's been, is it now? I think I started like a year ago. I was trying to remember when that first started. I've been talking about that, like trying to change my attitude towards life and in general. I do talk very open about that on my show at intervals, and I think I did kind of start a year ago, really, where it's just like, yeah, even though everything goes to shit, you have to like forcefully be positive with whatever's happening, like, which could include like, okay, well, if we die, then so God wills it, kind of thing, and like really accept it. It's like accepting my fate, like whatever it may be, to bring some relief. And I've really been kind of forced to just go on that kind of path, also because of the poverty, and like I can't just like continually have that stress like that. I just gotta trust, like, okay, it's whatever's gonna happen. I'm just gonna do my best. I can't control it as much as I would like, or as much as my ego would like, and it does help. Right, a lot of these dreams that I was holding on for a long time in the background, I mean, yeah, there's no outlook directly that gives any sign to me like, oh yeah, that's still gonna happen. Like, it might, but it's not gonna be the way that I imagine it, and it's gonna, yeah, I might have like a later in life experience of all this. Like, I might still be able to get kids. I am a man, so it is literally technically possible. I'm very lucky like that, unlike women, which that doesn't work. Like, when they fail at the start, then it's like, yeah, then later in life you can have real regret because it just doesn't work anymore. It's you've run out of eggs. Right, I am not unfortunate like that because I'm a man. I can still procreate at a later age if I just protect my balls enough and all that, and but I mean, even if I'm like in a bad condition, I can restore my condition if I get the opportunity, and then it will still work again. So yeah, the point is that to me it's not really gonna be viable to even think like that unless I find a way to have more income, because I can't be a father and poor like this. Like, it just won't work. Not because you can't raise children when you're poor, but because I will be too unnerved all the time. Like, it would ruin my fatherhood. I would get too many ego obstacles, and that would just like teach them the wrong things just by radiating that. And that's part of the reason why I just, like, from this position, it just doesn't work. People tell me like, oh, when are you gonna find a girlfriend and get married? And like, well, as soon as I actually figure out how to get a more stable income, which, I mean, it's still not completely impossible. It's just freaking taking way longer than I want. And it's been a lifelong issue for me. I'm just very rusty with this stuff, and it's a big downside. And it's embarrassing. Like, to try to justify that is towards the ladies is like pointless. I mean, they'll accept it, they just won't hook up with you then. That's it. Like, that really is it. It's all there is to it, and like, I just have to accept that, and I do. It's like, yeah, I get it. I mean, that's what I would do if I was a girl. So, whatever. Right. The main point is just getting through this financial depression, which is influencing me, to just live through it and not completely crumble to the point where I can't return. That's the main objective. And then on the side, see if even from within this depression situation financially, I might still be able to build something up, right, just to survive. And if then things go out of the depression, then it might be beyond just being able to survive. I might actually start to have some money left, and might even then use that situation to really climb out of it and actually get more financially self-sufficient, right? Can use the depression as basically forcing me into doing the actions that I need to do because I can't stay in my comfort zone. And then when it gets out of it, well, then I might actually use it as an elastic to launch financially, business-wise, whatever, work-wise. So yeah, that's how I see it in my head, and we'll see what's gonna happen. Right. Anyway, 26 minutes in. I hope everybody's having a good Sunday. It's probably cold. Oh, the troll downvote pile. Oh no. Not even watching. Yeah, it doesn't matter, dude. People still watch my show. But I figured out by now that the way that people actually watch my show is on a whim. I think that a lot of people that watch my show, they do it on a feel. Whether they feel like the energy is enough in the air that I will also start manifesting and start like talking the deeper esoteric thoughts, which is probably why a lot of people do actually keep track of me. But it's not always there. I mean, sometimes I'm just like, I don't know what to talk about. I'm silent, I'm locked up, and people can like feel that when I'm like that, and then they kind of tune out. But then they don't necessarily stay tuned out. They just wait until the energy in the air changes, and then they come back. And then hear me say like, hey, it looks like the energy changed. I feel different. And then everybody else probably feels different, and they can then attest like, yeah, that's why we just came back, because we felt the energy changed, and so you're going to be doing better now. Because they're tuned into that too. Ladies only hook up if you're 6 feet tall, bodybuilder, or a very high position in society. Well, those ladies, I mean, those are like man hunters, right? I mean, when they're like really trying to be super attractive with their looks and all that, that's different. I mean, those people, yeah, those women always aim way high. Ridiculously high. That's not the type of women I would be interested in even. To me, those are basically career prostitutes. Except they don't just fucking cash in. No, they are like, it's not prostitutes, but I mean, it's like almost like that. And like those types I don't really like. Anyway, they're not interesting to me. They're too superficial. That's just about looks and about things. They don't have any character. I'm interested in women that have character, that are really looking for things in life and like trying to figure it out, and not just like, oh, I want this, I want that, and nothing is good enough for me. But ugh, no. And I mean, it's no issue because people that are like that, and there's plenty of them, they always seek out social media, so you get to see that a lot. That's not all women. That's just like the more narcissist ones. Very typical. They get a lot of attention, they're always on their looks, and they're always like, oh, men are never good enough. Yeah, that's not all women though. There's plenty of women still around, even young ones, that are very modest, that are just, they don't seek that much attention. They just try to be themselves, and those are very interesting, really. They're just not so glamorous. But I mean, I don't, yeah. Right? Unless you're like a showman or a big business guy and you want to show off with a lady. Like, I don't understand why you would even be interested in that type. Right? It's like, unless you're in business and you want to show off with like how beautiful your lady is, and or you're a porn addict, you need that kind of woman that has to look like that. Yeah, I don't see why you'd even be interested in that type. Sorry. Like, I would much prefer normal women that could still look very sexy if they wanted to. That's much more interesting to me. Anyway. What was I talking about? Oh, the lady talk is distracting me. I do think about it. Found some videos on X. It's the Irish stuff, great. It's the Irish Celtic singing and a bunch of dancing, and I mean, it just made me really happy watching that. So I put that on here. On the video for those watching, not just listening. What am I? It's weird, man. Sometimes I just, like, when I talk on my show, it just rolls from one thing into another, and it just kind of rolls. It does make, it's not too hacky in all directions, kind of rolls, but then when I try to like figure out how do I actually then put this in a title, it's still way too scattered. Like, I don't know, based on what I've been talking about in the last 34 minutes, like, what would I put in a title? Too many different subjects. They don't really match like some kind of synchronous esoteric theme necessarily, other than maybe trust God. That's not necessarily good for a title, even though it's like recommendable. Moving through ideas and subjects like that. Is okay. right? Am I a genius? I don't know. I mean, could be. I could be a genius if you think that. But then on the other hand, it's like, yeah, well, where's your genius with your life then, Arwen? It's like, yeah, that's why I'm not saying like I am the genius because, oh, I'm so smart, I made my life perfect. Like, no. It's more like a peak skill. It's not like everything. It's not like, oh, my genius is more about an analytical. It's not necessarily application. I try to. I just have a lot, despite my intellect, I have a lot of emotional issues and obstacles. I mean, could be way worse. I do have my intellect to actually deal with that side better, but I mean, it's rough. My emotional world is pretty rough compared to others. It is. It's tough being me at times. But I mean, yeah, this is what it is. Can have all the genius in the world, but I mean, I got my social retardation to balance that out, as it were. Of course, I'm not like literally socially retarded, like completely, but I mean, I am not as good as average. Not all geniuses are rich or successful. Okay, fair enough. Some we only knew their genius later. Yeah, maybe. I mean, Kanto Stags, I appreciate it. I mean, if that's really heartfelt and you're not just being a troll trying to play into my emotions, which, I mean, I got a lot of sociopaths, psychopaths actually doing that, so I'm always very suspicious. Yeah, if you're actually trying to be genuine, then I really appreciate it. And I mean, if I am really such a genius, well, to me, I would get actual credit if, for example, the things that I figured out about flat Earth and the rectangular looping model and the celestial lights being holographic and all that, if that at some point, and maybe beyond my life, maybe in 100 years, that turns out to be completely figured out and declassified, like, yeah, turns out we're in a looping continuum with like a holographic effect that causes the celestial lights, including the sun and the moon. If that eventually just becomes like official, then I'll probably get some credit for literally figuring it out super early and being the guy to really pull that through despite having everybody against me pretty much, including other flat earthers. And I mean, that would be a big credit. If Arwen turns out to be right, then I would certainly get a lot more attention after the fact. But I mean, while I'm still alive, I mean, people will just, they'd mostly just think like, oh, he does sound interesting, but he's also crazy. So we can't really tell if he's smart or if it just seems smart. And so, yeah, not everybody just gives me that credit. And people that do, well, they usually end up like actually being very friends. And I mean, within the system of friends, I am like a smart guy. I am a smart guy friend. That's the type that I am. I like that. I'm not so engaging, not really a driving force. I'm the smart guy in the group. I like that. Very analytical, because that's what I'm good at. Can also be very consoling, like people, oh, I've got this issue, I don't really know what to do. Then, oh, I love that. I can unleash me upon that issue, and I might give you some good tips. Give you some courage also, because I mean, that's every issue requires courage, but courage has to be based on actually having a grip, on trust, on insight, and I can provide that. I can provide that often better with others than I can even do with myself, even though I'm getting better at doing it with myself. So it's grown basically from smart guy into like more therapeutical ability, right? But I mean, if you're gonna go with general intellect, at least I really do make an attempt to know myself very deeply and to be extremely honest and truthful. And true genius does require honesty and truthfulness, which brings conflict and issues socially. But it's like, as soon as you start not being like that, well, you're gonna blabber out more popular ideas that are wrong, or that will later be turned out like be considered wrong. You're appealing to another frequency when you do that. I appeal to the frequency of absolute honesty and truth, even if that conflicts with people's view, because they're riding on dreams and they don't want to be confronted that it's not real, right? Which is a big theme, of course, with Flat Earth. It's the psychology of that, the ballers that are like, no, we can't accept these facts, we have to make a lot of effort to work around it, or just outright reject it because we can't deal with it. Cognitive dissonance. Yeah. By the way, talking about which, I was yesterday on the Worldwide Debates channel on Discord, and really had like hours of conversation, the guys there, with a bunch of ballers too. There were a lot of ballers. They tested my patience. But I mean, it was a really, really thorough discussion about the concept of terrestrial refraction. Like, very detailed. And like bringing in the dextrorotation. I gotta put that in the title. And like actually showing it. And I just, instead of just immediately like, oh god, not this again, I was just like, okay, let's just actually try to be like a baller and like prove that it's a real thing. You have to keep taking the demonstration steps further and further. So I basically laid out like, okay, if you really think that terrestrial refraction, which in the dextrorotation setup, like a tanker, it has sugar water in it, and there's more sugar dissolved in the water at the bottom layer than at the top layer, creating this apparent gradient thing within the water, and that does seem to cause light to bend. It's weird, but it's very specific with its setup, right? But just because it's bending doesn't mean that it will actually bend beyond like a complete geometric obstruction. So I asked this, like, okay, could you now show this where the light is going to bend parallel to a completely like spherical surface, right? Because the tank now, it's like, yeah, the light bends downwards. Yeah, in a gradiated situation that's over literally a flat plane. It's the water is level, the gradient's going to be level. So it's like, yeah, you just proved terrestrial refraction is a real thing on a flat Earth. That's the joke, and that's literally what it is. I should put that in the title. That's great. Remember that. So if you really want to prove that it actually causes light to bend, curve over a round surface, then you have to have a bottom on the aquarium that is completely round and opaque, and then let that light move parallel to it, because then you could start to attempt to prove that maybe something that is geometrically blocked from a direct line of sight could be made visible. Because at this point it's like, yeah, refraction of any sort, it's gonna displace a visual you see in the distance, like the camera's now the observer, you're gonna displace a visual in the distance in relation to the horizon, downward, out of sight, upward, compress, stretch up, whatever. But anything that is geometrically, not optically, but geometrically blocked from a direct line of sight does not suddenly become visible. This is like logically impossible within optics. It's like one of the rules of how it works. Only things that are geometrically in a direct line of sight will be visually displaced because of refraction, but something that's geometrically obstructed, like it's behind the hill of sphere Earth, it won't be made possible to make that come into view if it's geometrically obstructed. Like, that is how it is supposed to work. That is how it works. I've been saying that for a long time. And just light bending within a open, transparent medium does not prove that it makes that possible. You'd have to then actually put that geometric obstruction in there to demonstrate that something beyond the geometry can be made visible, even though it's not in a direct line of sight. And yeah, I challenged one of these guys there at Worldwide Debate that was a baller, like trying to prove it with doing that, and he's gonna do that. So that was very encouraging, because it's like, yeah, keep it up. I mean, I know the Earth is flat, but I mean, this is interesting. The terrestrial refraction, there might be something really weird where there is a light bending down thing. It's very strange to me, though. It's not logical, because to me it's like light should, if it's gonna bend, it's gonna bend in all directions, right? I mean, even with refraction in general, you have a glass surface, and you have the angle of incident and the angle of exit, and if you're going to go straight, it's going to go straight through. There's not going to be any refraction. But if you have it at an angle, that's when the angle starts to shift. But it's always in both directions. So to have something shine exactly like this onto like the aquarium and then have it always bend down is very strange to me. It's like, why is it not bending in both directions? I don't get it. It's very strange to me. Right, but I mean, it's still based on some kind of physical demonstration. My grandpa used to say, if someone is standing behind the corner of a building, you are never going to see them. Yes, exactly. That's interesting that he said. I don't remember that. I mean, it's a long time since I've seen Ranty do anything. He was very annoying to me, so don't really care. But yeah, it's, if something is geometrically obstructed, refraction of whatever type won't be able to make it visible. It's only something that's geometrically in a direct line of sight can be visually displaced, can be displaced within view due to refraction. That's what it does. Like when you actually look up all the workings of optics, that's how it's described, as to the possibility of how mirages work. But if the Earth is a sphere, then it's literally behind the curve. That's a geometry that's obstructing it. It should not be able to be possible to subtly, due to refraction, see something that is geometrically obstructed, like things that are there. That shouldn't be possible due to some kind of refraction, due to the inherent workings of refraction. But yeah, these Dectro rotation experiment people, or the tests of that, they're trying to prove that it can, but then you have to actually do a thorough job and introduce that geometric obstruction, which is not just an object, right? It's not about a thing, like a tower or something, or a building sticking out. No, you have to have the entire ground. And only that would suffice to show that it is possible, or could be possible. Because even if they then demonstrate that, it's not going to reveal that terrestrial refraction in the real world still works like that, but it's a start. Can we do? What are you talking about, Osiris the Good? What? Right. Anyway, let me continue the title. Right. Let's just put that in the title like that. Dextro rotation proves terrestrial refraction is demonstrated to work on a flat plane. Right? So the funny thing is that, like, yeah, there might be this thing of like bending in this gradient situation. It might be a thing. It's very weird, very mysterious to me. But the thing is that the dextro rotation setup per default is a flat Earth demonstration, right? Because the way that water in the aquarium is gradiated out is in relation to a flat plane, while in a presupposed sphere Earth, the gradient's supposed to be parallel to the sphere. So the setup is not reflecting the presupposed sphere Earth properly. Yeah, it's demonstrating that light might bend down because of the gradation, but that gradient is oriented parallel to level, to the flat plane, to the aquarium, to water leveling out. The gradient in it is level 2. So you have to create a gradient situation that is actually going around the curve ground to demonstrate that it really does work like this. That's the funny thing. So yeah, another discussion about flat Earth and the tech, and I got into it again, but it was also nice because the ballers there were genuinely scientifically curious. They were not just trying to get a win over a flat earther. So it was actually a really constructive conversation over at Worldwide Debates. Don't know if I can do that like every time. It was a bit, like, some of them were a bit annoying. But I mean, I thought it was still a very productive, exploratory conversation, and I did get these insights and a new hilarious statement. And like, yeah, hey, Nathan Oakley, if you're watching, yeah, you could use that too. Dextro rotation proves terrestrial refraction is demonstrated to work on a flat plane. Thus far, that is what dextro rotation tests are proving. And it's just funny to realize that. Hey, what's this? Okay. Hardest picture ever taken on Earth. Mountain obstruction? Okay. Right, another black swan. Right. Yeah. Yeah. It's just a talker. Right. But yeah, the whole thing is like, if you're gonna demonstrate terrestrial refraction in a smaller scale by putting water with sugar in it to mimic the gradient of the atmosphere but really condensed, well, then you have to condense the surface and its curve too. So it's going to be, the bottom's going to be like a big hill that's opaque, it's not transparent, and then show that light moving in that curve down right parallel to it, that it can actually move beyond it. Because here's the thing, on my intuition about light is that, yeah, you could have this block of transparent water and then have some curve in it, but that doesn't mean that it's actually physically there, because light is weird. I've seen things where light would appear to curve, but then you like put your hand in it and then it suddenly doesn't do it anymore, because it's not just moving where it appears to be. What in reality is happening is that it's actually more, it's moving in those other directions. You just don't see it there. I mean, it sounds very weird when I say it like that, but I've seen that sort of thing happen. It's like you have light, it's moving like this, it's kind of weird. Then you put your hand in the part where the light isn't visibly there, but that still then affects what's actually happening and changes it. So if they want to prove that light indeed curves, well, you got to prove not that it curves in some open space, but that it actually curves past a geometric obstruction. That is the real claim about terrestrial refraction. Like, you know it's a sphere because it looks so flat, because terrestrial refraction makes it look flat. Well, because it looks so flat means that terrestrial refraction would indeed make visible things that are geometrically obstructed beyond the physical Earth curve. Well, if you're going to claim that it can do that, then you have to actually demonstrate that that is possible by making light bend in a gradiated situation past a physically obstructing geometry. And that's not been demonstrated yet, and might never be, because when they do it, it will turn out not to work, because of what I intuitively just shared with you. It's like I've seen that, like light acting in a way, then you obstruct it, and suddenly, even though the light's not visibly there, it will be influenced and doesn't do it anymore. Like, I've seen light act like that. Very weird. I can't even explain why exactly it does that. I've just seen it, just taken note of that happening. Light is very strange and not so straightforward as you would think sometimes. It's not just like material being exactly where you see it being reflected, directed towards your eye. It's not just light. Light is weird. It's actually something really weird. And it's misunderstood. It does things. Strange. So yeah, very flat Earth oriented today with this specific subject. And I'm glad to have been tapping into that subject for a bit. And really curious to see if those smaller guys are going to actually be able to mimic that demonstration properly. It might just not really be doable. And I've suggested, like, yeah, you could, like, do it, like, with gel. Like, gel with different densities that do have to, like, mix up perfectly, so that there's no, like, cut barriers, and then put it around a opaque spherical bottom, and then demonstrate the effect of that of textural rotation, but on that is actually gradiated parallel to a curved ground that is also a geometric obstruction. Now you have the proper mimic of the idea of presupposed sphere Earth and its conditions to demonstrate that terrestrial refraction can happen there. That would suffice. And nobody's done that yet. It's not a weird thing. 20 years ago, I saw in my vision, like I was in a museum of geology that I'm pretty sure doesn't exist, where this was demonstrated. I saw it. I saw a setup like that. Just, well, I didn't even know it with my consciousness. Like, I wasn't active with this sort of thing as much. I just saw it. I saw it in a simulated demonstration, I guess. Because I mean, I haven't physically done that. And when there's other like setups too, with like big vacuums and vacuum chambers and letting it explode, and like I've never been in a real place where that was demonstrated. Like, sounded way too dangerous. But this was one of those things. I saw the setup of actual demonstration of terrestrial refraction over a curved surface, exactly like what I'm describing right now. I saw that, but I mean, it was my vision, so it's not actually physically real. Geologic principles don't support a globe. Yes, that's why the title is Dextral Rotation Proves Terrestrial Refraction is Demonstrated to Work on a Flat Plane, which is very ironical. Very ironic. That's specifically what that demonstrates, right? Because the dextral rotation setup is always sugar gradient within water within a aquarium that's going to have a flat bottom, and the gradient is going to be oriented level, because that's how water orients. That's just what it does. It's not going to auto adapt to a curved bottom. So dextral rotation, since it's always in water, can never really be used to have the proper demonstration to show terrestrial refraction over a sphere Earth. You need to get a little bit more complicated with like gel, something that you can have oriented, not level, but level to a sphere, right? Parallel to the sphere. That's what would actually demonstrate that you know the Earth is a sphere, because it looks so flat. That's how far you need to go. And it hasn't been done yet. That haven't come across anybody. Still, dextral rotation has been out there for years as a go-to argument. But yeah, it only proves that there's a terrestrial refraction effect potentially on a flat plane, because that's the orientation of the gradient of the dextral rotation that is being demonstrated. Like, yeah, it bends down on a flat plane. So it's just like, yeah, cool. Well, there might be terrestrial refraction on a flat Earth. That's cool. So yeah, just a heads up for flat Earth researchers out there. Some baller comes to you and like, oh, dextral rotation. You can tell them like, yeah, cool, that your dextral rotation demonstration proves that terrestrial refraction may indeed be a thing on a flat Earth. And you would be technically completely correct to say that. So, hope that will be useful for flat Earth researchers out there. I certainly felt it was useful. I don't know, maybe other people have already figured this out long ago. I don't know. Could be that Nathan already has figured this out technically like a while ago. I don't really follow his show anymore, so yeah. I don't know if he did. Maybe this is new to him too. Alright, anyway. Yeah, hour into the show. Pretty good. Get a smoke and then maybe join up with Earth Awakenings for a bit. Maybe also talk about this, because I talked about this subject at worldwide debates, not Earth Awakening, so they might be interested in hearing about it too. Alright, anyway, everybody out there, I hope you're liking the show. Don't forget to Rogans it up and share it on a platform you deem fit. Support me, sending a super chat or PayPal. Any support would be greatly appreciated. I really need it. Maybe I'll put little dots in between there for dramatic effect. I mean, it's just also funny to me. It's funny. Because this is like, yeah, you need... In order to create the sphere Earth, you need a flat Earth to base that on, and then mathematically turn it into that sphere. Well, it's just a similar situation. It's like, oh, the extra rotation. Oh, you demonstrated it, yeah. On a flat Earth. It's just funny that it's that again, which also tells you that, hey, this is real. This is a real insight, because it's just like those others. Yeah, the globe Earth is all based on a flat plane, on flat plane measurements, all that. Flat plane vantage point for the calculations. Because globe Earth was created, designed, based off flat plane measurements. I figured that out with the flat Earth debates like years ago. Right, by the way, Osiris the Good, geologic principles don't support a globe. If you could be more specific with that, I'd like to hear. The globe was born from Aristotle's sphere obsession. Okay. Center of gravity along with it. I don't know if Aristotle was all about that. I mean, it was kind of Newton that really finalized that sphere-centric gravitation. Aristotle's sphere obsession, but I mean, there were a lot of occultists back then and that were sphere obsessed. It's basically mathematicians have a tendency to sphere obsession for some reason. Right? It really started with Pythagoras, like a whole cult. That's the weird thing, like Pythagoras, the math guy that started it. That's what you learn in school. It's like, oh, Pythagoras, one of the first mathematicians. Did you know he had a cult? Like, very cult. Yeah, often leave that part out when they teach you about him. The guy was weird. He had sphere obsessions. I mean, he's a math genius. His sphere obsessions, and it was like a cult. Freaky cult shit. Aristotle was the father of begging the question. That's interesting. Osiris the Good. Interesting. Thank you. Now I'm kind of shy to know, like, who was first, Aristotle or Pythagoras? You know, both from the ancient world, but which one was actually first? Or were they like in the same time period? If they could even really establish that, because it's so long ago. Pythagoreans were the precursors of Christians? What? I don't know about that one. That seems a bit of a stretch. I don't know. Yeah, no, that doesn't feel like that's real. That's true. Don't forget to roads up if you're liking the show, guys. You do know? Oh, okay. Well, prove it to me then. Gotta run? Oh, okay. That's not a very good demonstration there, Osiris the Good, but I do appreciate your comments in the Rumble chat. Don't forget to Rogan's it up if you're liking it. And we'll see you later. Have a good Sunday. The wind is picking up, it's cold. Yeah. Right, anyway, I'm going to take a 2-minute break now and I'll be right back. Don't forget to Rogan's it up if you're liking the show. Be right back. I'm back. Yeah, hello, Amanda Young. What's this? Oh. Right, let's see. Using the Earth Awakenings. Jeremy. Huh. Alright. Okay, let's join up. See, I don't know if they're like even wanting to do that. We'll see. I didn't really get a chance to talk to them before the show. Right, so I'm gonna join up and see if they're gonna be part of the rest of this early bird show. Hello, hello. Is anybody there?
Yeah, we're here, Arlen. What's up?
When?
Hey, Jeremy. So yeah, I'm live with the early bird show. I didn't really get a chance to ask if I could join again, but yeah, I'm here now.
I had a good talk yesterday.
Good,
I
man. What's
enjoyed her.
up?
Yeah, I know we talked yesterday. But
That's what I mean. It was enjoyable, though. Is what I'm saying. Enjoyed that.
No, I enjoyed it a lot, and so did my viewers. So it was a great show. That's why I'm back.
Here's the thing with Christmas. All the holidays are scams. Like, I'm not even joking. Who has a bigger incentive to promote birthdays than the cake industry? Or how about Valentine's Day with with the Diamond District, or K Jewelers or De Beers? Who has a bigger? All these holidays and shit it's all designed just to get your money. Remember, we were talking yesterday. They have to keep us broke. What a better way where I have to spend $1,000 on some bullshit nobody's even gonna like. I'm terrible at picking presents out. It's just a huge waste of money.
Well, it could be.
It's become commercialized. I agree. Like 20 years ago, or like 30 years ago, we never celebrated like Halloween. So that's some sort of imported, commercialized kind of thing. Valentine's, I'm not quite sure how much Valentine's is celebrated or done over here.
Dude, if
Not
you took
much.
all the money you spent on birthday and Christmas and Halloween and all the bullshit for a kid from when he was 1 year old to 18 years old, they could probably just use that money and retire.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You could probably just retire off all the bullshit money, but
You can tell just how commercialized it's got in America, because Christmas you have Santa Claus, which is the whole Santa Claus thing and everything. Easter, they needed to create something, so they created the Easter Bunny,
Oh,
just
they
so
get
that they
you on
can sell
Easter.
Easter baskets and stuff like that. Because they
Easter is
didn't.
multifaceted. They get you with the dentist from all the chocolate. They get you with all the toys and shit, the stupid Easter basket. Yeah, just everything is a huge money grab.
Because they couldn't sell nothing at Easter. What was they going to sell at Easter? And they wanted to turn it into a marketing holiday like everything else. So they companies came up with the Easter Bunny and started selling Easter baskets and stuff. You know, just something that they could make money off of a holiday. And they do it on every holiday.
Yeah, they reduced the prices on like sweets, chocolate, and stuff like that as well to get people to buy more. It's like you start wondering, hang on a minute, is this kind of thing has getting close to expiration? You call it expiry days time?
Dude, Christmas is a big one, and the people spoke this Christmas. Retail got hammered like physical stores. We spent more money online though. You know what I'm saying? But the actual physical stores, retail, they got heads were not having it. There's no need. I used to get the shit delivered right to my doorstep. People aren't gonna go stand around. They ruined it when they.
Oh, I do. I much prefer to go to a store and walk around and enjoy being out than ordering online.
It used to be a family outing for me and my mom and brother. We'd go shopping together.
Yeah, that's why I made
and
my
then they
kids
ruined
do
it
it every
because
year.
they pushed it back. And then they ruined it when they pushed it back. They kept pushing it back and back. It used to be Black Friday. Then they, 7 a.m., 6 a.m., 5 a.m. They kept pushing it back year after year until it was happening at 6 p.m. on Thursday before. You know what I'm saying? And my wife was like, yo, this is bullshit.
Yeah, it's like they stopped celebrating Christmas in October.
Huh. Interesting.
What's up, Arwen? Arwen's in the middle of a show here.
Yeah, it's okay, guys. I mean, it's a completely different subject, but I mean, it's something to talk about. Don't worry about it. But yeah, we are live with the Flat Earth Early Bird number 2487. And yeah, Christmas. I happened to bump into a thing that before the whole commercializing of Christmas with Santa Claus and Coca-Cola was basically responsible for that. They initiated that whole thing with Christmas. But before that, there was like traditions of Christmas carolers. Did you know that? People going out and then literally just singing in front of doors. And nobody does that anymore for like 100 years. But that used to be a thing. And hold on. And it's really interesting too, because I get the feeling that in a way that entire thing of going to people's doors and singing has kind of been replaced with the Halloween tradition of trick-or-treat. Because people do that going past people's doors, but they don't sing anymore. Isn't that
on the Coca-Cola thing, real quick. They had Santa before Coke did their thing. The thing is with Santa, it used to be green. He'd be in a green suit, or he'd be in a blue suit, or he'd be in a red suit, right? Coca-Cola pushed red because that's the colors. Now we only know Santa Claus is red. Like if you saw Santa in a blue suit, you'd be like, "What the hell? What is that? What are you doing here?"
Yeah. Also, he didn't used to be a fat guy. They made him fat.
Well, the reason they wanted to do it was because drinking soda was a summertime thing. You'd go to the soda fountain and you'd drink, but nobody drank it in the wintertime. You didn't drink it for dinner. You drank it for like, something you did.
A refresher.
Yeah. But Coke wanted to sell it all year long because their sales dropped off dramatically in the wintertime. So they started pushing, that's when they come up with the whole idea to do the Christmas thing and the whole Santa Claus thing.
The thing with Coca-Cola is it has no, real quick, just one thing on Coca-Cola real quick. It has no taste memory. That's why you can just drink it and drink it and drink it. That's why people are addicted. Somebody was talking a little bit ago, some guy drinks a 12-pack of Diet Coke a day. It has no taste memory. Like if you were to try to do that with orange soda or some kind of other flavor thing, your body wouldn't, you would get sick of it. You know what I'm saying? But Coke, it doesn't, you never get sick of it. That's why there's a lot of people that are like addicted to Coca-Cola.
It has a lot to do with the high fructose corn syrup too. With high fructose corn syrup, my wife is the foodie, not me. I study the Bible, she studies food. But there's some kind of trigger in your brain when you're eating normal sugar, non-processed, heavily processed sugar, where your brain will tell you you've had enough before you get sick. Where with high fructose corn syrup, it doesn't activate that part of your brain, so you can just sit there and just swill soda after soda after soda until you're sick, until after you get sick.
Yeah.
So, and that's one of the things with the processed sugars.
It's also way worse for your for diabetes and all that. But I mean, it's not everywhere around the world where they actually have high fructose corn syrup. That's really the US. In Europe, they don't put it in there, in the cola.
There's people in Mexico that are heavily addicted to Coca-Cola. It's a different kind of Coca-Cola though. Yeah, we're getting different brands. Not different
Regular
brands.
sugar.
No, it's the same brand. They just put different stuff in there.
That's what I meant to say, yeah.
They put cane sugar in it in Mexico. You can buy it on the grocery store called Mexican Coke.
FDA loves us.
Go to FDA's wild conflict of interest. It's not even. Did you want to go into this Christmas thing? Where you want to go with this, Arwen?
Well, not specifically there. We could keep going, but yeah, my show was actually before I joined here about stuff that I was talking about yesterday for hours at Worldwide Debates about dextro rotation, and was really interesting. me and Riggs were basically hearing out these globers that were arguing that terrestrial refraction is real. Here's a dextral rotation setup. And we just heard them out.
Dextral rotation.
Yeah, you know, like a tank with water in it, and sugar in it, and it has like a different density. It's more dissolved at the bottom of the tank than at the top. That's what they explain. Then they shine a light through it, and it literally kind of bends down. It's weird. It's not really super convincing. I've always yeah, whatever. It's not the reality. But here's the thing, though. What dextral rotation actually proves is that terrestrial refraction is demonstrated to work on a flat plane. That's the funny thing, because the
one
tank
we were looking at was salt. It wasn't sugar. It
doesn't
was a
matter.
salt
Yeah,
gradient.
whatever. It's what it's called. Whether you use salt or sugar, it's not relevant. It's about showing that light bends
Salt
down
rotation.
in a gradiated tank to demonstrate a miniature version of what's supposed to be the realm. But the thing is that the aquarium is a big square, has a flat bottom, and the gradient within the water in it, well, yeah, it's gradiated level. Because the water will be level, the gradient within it will be level, and it's over a flat plane. So yeah, the general dextral rotation setups that are like the supposed demonstration of terrestrial refraction, well, they prove that terrestrial refraction is arguably a thing on a flat plane. And I really hold up.
Put it in a curved tank, or
yeah, but they don't though. I said do that. Do that, show that.
yeah,
It's not going to yield. But
it wouldn't be any different.
oh yeah, it wouldn't be. Oh yeah, that's really nice. Just show it then. Do it then. You could say
you're
it
the
wouldn't
one
be.
making the claim. You should show it.
I should show. I'm not the one that is like in need of demonstrating that terrestrial refraction
Oh, okay.
is there to prove that it's a sphere because it looks so flat. Yeah, dextral rotation is supposedly the evidence to prove that can happen, but it's not a proper mimic. It's not a proper miniature setup to demonstrate, because it only demonstrates that it works on a flat plane. Right? You can say it works on a sphere.
Yeah, I think one of the problems there would be if you have like a curved tank, the heaviest solution will go towards both ends of the.
Exactly, because it will be level.
Yeah, but that's no, it wouldn't be.
Because the water and the gradient will be level. So yes, that is a thing, but
not if the tank is curved and you have a solution, because the heaviest part of the solution will go to the deepest part of the curved tank.
yeah, but that's because the entire body of water will orient itself level. The gradient within it will be level, and yeah, so it will heap up in the corners, in the outer corners, exactly like you said. Yes, that is an issue, and to then
That's
like
not analogous to Earth, though.
yeah, that's not analogous to Earth, because it's not like like we're on the top of the globe where the air is very thin, and when you go more to the side of the globe, it's thicker. No, it's not a proper reflection of the setup.
But level is curved. But in that tank, that curved bottom would disturb the distribution of the density gradient. It would gather up on the ends, just like you said. That's not analogous to Earth.
It's supposed to demonstrate a miniature setup of the gradient of the air. It's miniaturized. That's the whole point of that dextral rotation test setup, right? But if you want to do it properly, then you have to also miniaturize the curve so it would actually be visible, right? But then you get the issue that the water, which is not going to abide to the miniaturization of the orientation of some kind of sphere, it's going to just level out. So you have to use something else really to really get to the nitty-gritty perfection. You have to use something else than water to demonstrate. So you could use gel. Dude, I'm in the middle of talking. Please. Yeah, you have to use some kind of gel.
Where people want to talk to,
Yo, it's Arwen's doing a show right now. We're in the middle of a show right now.
Yeah, so what you could do is use some kind of gel layering to kind of make the gradiated situation abide by the curve of the bottom that you would also have to have. You can't use water because the water is just going to level out with its gradation. So that is the eventual go-to to try to attempt to prove that dextral rotation, the terrestrial refraction, happens over a spherical surface. You have to gradiate, that gradation has to be parallel to the spherical surface beneath it. And that has to be set up. But a start would be to just take the original dextral rotation setup and put a spherical, a convex setup, like a convex body that's completely opaque, and then show that the light is gonna curve right parallel to it. That's like only the start, the start, to show like, yeah, it can move around the geometric obstruction. I don't think that it will even happen. I think that having the physical thing in the way is going to change how the light actually acts, despite the gradient within the water, even if it is level. So it was a very interesting discussion yesterday. It lasted hours. And yeah, the conclusion was the original premise of the dextral rotation setup proves that terrestrial refraction could be a thing on a flat plane. And if you want to actually make it reflect as a mini scale model of the supposed sphere Earth, then you have to like adapt the gradient to a spherical bottom surface that is opaque, and then show that it can indeed make the light have a pathway parallel to that sphere beyond the direct line of sight of the geometric obstruction of the bottom. And yeah, they said they were going to do that. They were going to try to attempt to create that. So I'm very curious if they're actually going to follow through and end up showing that. Could take a while before they get it right. But even if they fail at attempting to do so, I would still be very interested to see what would actually happen with the light path on that. It's going to be interesting. Right, so yeah, that was the main subject of my show today. And
yeah, so to have it bend or refract parallel, it would have to refract a lot then, wouldn't it?
Well, the thing is that
that's not what we normally see in the atmosphere. That it refracts parallel to the curved surface all long distance.
No, refraction just causes the visual within a direct geometric line of sight, because it's not obstructed. It causes it to displace within view. Yeah, the general knowledge about optics is the general knowledge.
Because I thought you said they would like do an experiment where the refraction is parallel to the curved surface.
Yeah, that's because that is the actual claim based on the premise that the Earth is a sphere. Yes, it is. Like that would be the only thing that would demonstrate that terrestrial refraction is what causes an oil tanker to be visible at 1 foot observation height at vast amounts of miles. Bro.
No one is claiming that the
like
refraction.
crazy wind noise going on or something.
Sorry.
Just wait
That's
till you're
enough.
like inside or something. That's crazy.
Okay. So we're gonna try again?
Yeah, I said it to have a refraction so that light follows the curve. You need extreme refraction, much more than we normally see.
Okay. I mean, yeah, sure. I always rest at the case that refraction cannot make visible that which is directly geometrically obstructed from a direct line of sight. It can just displace what is already in a line of sight. That's it. So it can't make you look around a physical corner, basically. That's what I read when it's like, go to like all the things of optics and mirages. That's what it says. It can just displace that which is in direct field. Dude.
But But that demonstration we were looking at with the brick close to the observer in the tank, and then the density gradient, it would lift the fake mountains or the objects at the end of the tank. It would lift them up where you could see them. And then with that, they would mix the gradient up and they would settle back down where you couldn't see them. So yeah, it was refracting those objects up above the obstruction where you could see them.
They were not geometrically obstructing. It's not Earth curve. It's not the entire bottom that's being the obstruction. Yeah, you can have a thing stick out and then still have weird effects where you can see past it. And it can displace within view. Like, one part can be displaced through refraction that's closer to you, can be displaced further up than what is in the back that is displaced downward, but both could still be in a direct geometric line of sight. Yeah, that's the thing. So it doesn't work to take an object and say, oh, look, it's geometrically obstructing the back. No, it isn't. And it's not about claiming whether a building or whatever in the world is going to be able to do that. It's about that the Earth itself, which is not just an object, but a giant body that's in the way, that it can still allow you to see what is beyond the geometric obstruction of the curve of Earth. So an object in the way and it being displaced visually, that's not a proper demonstration. It's not about
I think the black
objects sticking
swan
out.
is a good example of what you're talking about working.
Yeah, it
Because
isn't.
some days, most days it's obstructed.
Yeah, but
and then
it
some days you
isn't.
get
I
the
just
black
explained
swan.
that to you. It's not Earth curve. This is not about objects sticking out. This is about Earth curve.
Well, that's a claim, man, right there.
It's about Earth curve obstructing what is beyond its geometry. That
Yeah,
is the
that's
thing
when
that has to be
that's when the O-rings
demonstrated.
are obstructed.
Yeah, but you're not listening. I don't care about objects sticking out. It has to be about the Earth curve, still, because it's geometric the whole body obstruction, and that, but you would still be able to see things beyond its geometry. That is the thing that has to be demonstrated in order to prove this directional refraction theory. Why you know it's a sphere, because it's visibly flat. Yeah, that's the entire
Black-
point of
Black
it, not
Swan does that.
objects. Right. So anyway, I thought it was interesting and curious to see, like, you can, like, I mean, you guys in the chat can, like, say, like, no, but I mean, the guy that was actually, that I had the discussion with yesterday recognized my point. Because I'm just interested to see what's going on. That's it. I'm just interested to know what is real, what is real with optics in general, like how it actually works. And I am very precise with this analysis, and my position is basically neutral. Like, technically, I don't give a shit what the Earth is, a sphere or flat. I just want to know what this optics is. Yeah? That's my that's my end goal here. It's not even about, no, I have to make sure that it's going to turn out to be flat. No, I just want to know what's going on visually, what that actually is. And then we'll see what conclusion we can draw from it. But based on that vantage point within the research, it was easy to conclude that dextral rotation in the fish tank demonstration proves that terrestrial refraction could be real on a flat plane, because that's what the tank actually represents. So that's all that there is up until this point, until a more complex setup can be made to demonstrate that it would indeed work on a properly miniaturized sphere Earth. So we'll see if that's going to actually be done or not. It's not there right now. Right. Who's on mute here? Is that Damok still? Right, anyway. What do you think, Jeremy? You still there?
Yeah, we'd have to actually get a measurement of which way the the light's bending. If you're gonna go with some kind of long range optic shit. Or you want to know what's going on with the optics, right?
Yeah. Well, I want to
Yeah, we
know
have to get a
whether...
measurement.
Well, there does seem to be a dextro rotation thing happening where it is bending downward in a gradiated situation. But all those demonstrations are all on a flat plane scenario with the gradient being level and parallel to the flat plane, which is the bottom of the tank. So if they want to prove that that's actually happening on a sphere, enabling the terrestrial refraction to make it appear flat so that you could see beyond the geometry of sphere Earth that they're presupposing, well then you're going to have to actually miniaturize the dextro rotation setup where it is actually a gradient parallel to a spherical bottom. And then, yeah, then you can basically reattempt to make that claim about it. So I thought it was, yeah, very educational.
Why are you calling it dextro rotation? It's just
because
sugar
that's
water.
the
Why are
name
you
that they
calling
give
that?
it. That's what they call it. That's the name of the demonstration. Whether they use salt or sugar doesn't matter. They call it dextro rotation.
I've never seen that.
Okay, well, go to worldwide debates. They talked about it for hours, and they put a lot of pictures.
Yeah, I
in the
know
text.
Jesse. Jesse was the one doing. He's done a lot of demonstrations of density use salt. But why are you calling it dextro rotation? Nobody calls it that.
Well, when I first got introduced to the concept, which is now like 5 or 6 years ago, that's what it was named. That's how it got out there as a concept in people's attention. I don't know, maybe you missed out on that.
Well, I do recall
Left lane's first.
some
Give him a
discussion
break.
about the dextro rotation, left, right, or something like that. But I've never seen it described that on, anyone else call it that.
Okay. Well, I did.
And okay.
Right, so yeah, that was the subject. Any thoughts? I just thought it was a good insight. The extra rotation setup proves terrestrial refraction could be real on a flat plane.
I think it would be. I think it would, with the atmosphere being set up in a density gradient. I think it would happen on a flat plane or a globe. It's pretty much the same way, considering the scale of it.
Maybe. But I mean, it could prove that whatever is still, like on this globe, whatever is still sticking out beyond the geometry would be visible and then displaced even further upward within the view. But I mean, if you want to claim that it's going to make things visible that are geometrically obstructed, like not visibly but geometrically, despite refraction, well then you're going to have to actually have a tangible demonstration of that, and that would require a dextro rotation demonstration where the gradient is parallel to a spherical surface that's opaque, and then that you can see beyond it. You can see something that's geometrically obstructed within that setup. Not just an object sticking out. So, yeah. We'll see if it's going to come to that.
I mean, if you want to know the geometry of the situation, you got to measure the geometry. So you're not going to measure it with anything that's subject to refraction. You know what I mean? This is just a geometrical measurement, right? Which way is the light bending and by how much? So, I mean, you could go out, measure the temperature, pressure, and humidity and think you know which way the light's bending. You wouldn't, because even in the Glober's model, they have light bending where it's not refraction. So you'd have to actually measure which way the light's bending, like tangibly. If you wanted to actually know which way the light's bending. If you're doing the I don't know science like the Globers like to do, then don't worry about it. You can just do what you've been doing.
I'm sure they're going to keep doing it. I just hope that this Jesse guy is going to actually test it with a proper mimic of what they claim. instead of using a flat plane demonstration. Because if they hold on to that, I will always be able to say, like, yeah, cool, your dextro rotation demonstration proves that terrestrial refraction works on a flat plane. And that's it.
As a proof of concept.
Yeah. Right. All right.
All right. What
Well,
else you got?
Well, we could
What's
go
up?
back to Christmas, if you like. I mean, that seems to be what we're all talking about.
It's just a scam. It's a whole scam.
Yeah, or a marketing ploy.
But
'Cause,
do
I
you,
mean,
do
people
you
had
think the
tons of
holidays
traditions
were?
before.
Do you think the holidays were established to manipulate, retail sales, or did the holidays exist and then just entrepreneurs recognized an opportunity and developed it that way?
That's what I think. Holidays existed and they turned it into a money-making scheme.
Right, exactly. It's two phases. First, the holidays came into being to give the workers, because everybody worked to all hell, give them a bit of relief, give them some more time with the family, to basically boost their morale, make them less angry with government. And then later, as like society became more enriched and all that, then they commercialized it to use that extra time to basically make more money for industry. This is like a two-tier system. It wasn't originally to do that. It's not like, oh, we're going to give you some free days, so spend all your money. It's like, no. That they didn't even have any money. It was just like getting the free time to get a bit of relief back then. Because
From what I understand, the holidays that we celebrate now were created by Rome after they failed to end Christianity as it was growing. So they had to take the
You're roboting.
Roman Catholic Church and they combined pagan holidays.
I couldn't make out what you're saying. You're roboting.
They combined the pagan holy holidays with God's holidays, and then they kind of just got rid of God's holy days and replaced them with the pagan holidays. And then, of course, after America commercialized them and all that, but I believe most of them started out as pagan traditions and got the Catholic Church got converted to Christianity.
Yeah, all the Rome was trying to hold control on they had a massive amount of land in Europe they controlled, and it was very hard to do that. So they're like, oh, we'll do it through religion. Obviously, it's an easy control mechanism, same as the Eli with Denzel Washington. But anyways, the 25th is a super significant day. So is Easter. Easter's a solstice. And Christmas is from the Northern Hemisphere. I think it's like the 22nd or something, or the 21st to the 24th. It like sets there. It like sets still on the for as far as like it's where it is in the sky, and then on the 25th it starts to go back up again. So you're getting like the birth, you know what I'm saying, the birth of the sun, basically, which was convenient for them to say, all right, this is we'll just do Jesus' birthday right here, the Son of God, birth of the sun in the sky. Let's go. Pagans got it. Like, that was a good way to link it. Whoever thought of that was a genius.
Well, that's like the astrotheology part of the Bible, right? They merged that astrotheology, where it's all about the celestial representation, the sun, where Jesus Christ represents the sun, which is basically born or merged within Catholicism, the original one. versus the actual man, which is actually allegedly born on 9/11, September 11. So yeah, it's always been mixed in. Like there's this clear astrotheology component of the Bible where, yeah, Jesus is framed into a, yeah, representation of the sun and its specific astrological patterns, right? That's very clear. I mean, a lot of people figured that out a long time ago. It's not popular to mention that, but I mean, that is there. And that also doesn't mean that Jesus Christ isn't real at all. It just means that the way the story is portrayed is placed within that specific framework. So it's not literal. It's representative of the astrotheology. Doesn't mean that Jesus was not a real man, didn't say those incredibly wise words. Because the wise words are not astrotheology. They're just wisdom.
And in the scriptures, we do have food celebrations. The birth of the patriarchs.
You're roboting,
None of
dude.
our forefathers.
Matt, you're roboting.
Yeah.
All right. So, sorry. But in the scriptures, none of our forefathers ever. There's no accounts of them celebrating their birthdays. There are some kings and stuff, but they're not Hebrews. They're not one of our forefathers. So us celebrating Yeshua's birthday, it's unscriptural.
What? Unscriptural?
What I had said is none of our forefathers in the scriptures had celebrated their birthday. There's no accounts of any of our forefathers in the scriptures celebrating their birthday. There's a few kings, and there's nothing negative about them celebrating their birthday, but there's nothing about us telling us that we should be celebrating Yeshua's or Jesus's birthday. There's no scriptural backing for that.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, you're right. That's interesting.
But is it wrong to do so?
It doesn't say anything against it. But by the way, like, I think that, like, go back to where we originally started with the Christmas celebration, how it was commercialized. I think that birthdays have been commercialized for cake sales and all that. I think because, I mean, yeah, what you're saying, we didn't like celebrate birthdays like that, but now we do, and it is accompanied by all this. Now we do, and it is accompanied by all this extra stuff and cakes and all that. And so even the concept of day seems to have been commercialized, just like holidays.
Yeah, and then there would be nothing about honoring Yeshua's birthday if we knew when it was. But when you fill it with a bunch of pagan traditions that we've been forbidden to do, I mean, in the book of Isaiah, it specifically says, do not cut down an evergreen tree, bring it into your house, nail it down, and decorate it with gold and silver. We're specifically told not to do that pagan tradition, and yet we do that every Christmas. That's one of the pagan traditions that we still, and we say that we're doing it, but we're commanded not to worship in the ways of the nations around us. We're supposed to worship the way the scriptures tell us to worship. And so you celebrate his birthday and fill it with all this pagan stuff. Yes, that is wrong. So, sorry.
I'm not giving up Christmas. Them Christmas traditions, no matter what the Bible says.
I'm not giving up on having cake for my birthday.
It's all a
Having
scam.
Family all come in.
Nobody has perpetrated this birthday nonsense more than the cake industry. All right, it's all a scam to get your money.
Big cake.
Big cake. Christmas, Valentine's Day. Don't get me started with Valentine's Day. You think the diamond industry isn't drooling when Valentine's Day comes around?
That was specifically made by the Diamond Company to be what it is, wasn't it? Like, didn't they? Wasn't they like the sole reason behind Valentine's Day is being what it is? Because
Probably,
what about
dude.
the?
I'm telling you, all these holidays, birthdays, it's huge. What were we talking about yesterday? Remember, they're like, yo, they got to keep us broke and divided. What's a better way to keep people broke than have them buying a whole bunch of goofy shit all year long? Birthday, Christmas, Valentine's Day, Easter, Hanukkah. Your friend, somebody like just the things never end. I probably spend
It was the
$1,000, 2 G's a year on gifts, and my wife probably spends like 5,000 a year on gifts.
it was the diamond industry that came up with a 2 month salary for an engagement ring too.
If you're trying to control people, you want to keep them broke. So they got to spend a lot of time working to get more money and not worrying about what you're doing, controlling the shit out of them. You know what I'm saying? You could probably retire a kid when they're like 18 years old if you had just taken all the goofy shit.
If you guys want a fun one, it was the 70s or I don't remember what year they did it, but they changed the laws on toys and commercial and TV shows, cartoons and stuff, basically turning your Saturday morning cartoons into one long commercial. And just the change that went after those laws changed in our media, our cartoons and everything. It's really fascinating.
What the fuck are these assholes in the chat whining about? Dude, if you don't stop whining about my fucking life with innuendo, I'm just gonna block all of you, okay? Just get a fucking life already. Stop whining about me. Stop being troll bitches. Seriously. It's really goddamn tedious. This I person, I'm gonna block you too. Debatable D, if you start to keep doing this shit, I'm gonna block you too. Stop it. Just stop. What? No, because it's on screen. It's on my screen. Stop it. Get a fucking life. Stop whining about my life. Yeah? None of their business.
Ignore and laugh at it, they'll quit.
Yeah, no, I'm blocking them. They're blocked. It's not gonna be on screen. Yeah, just a bunch of block message, block message, block message. It's nobody gives about your whining about my life. Yeah?
They're just jealous, Arwen.
Jealous? It's retarded.
Yeah.
I mean, Jeremy said multiple messages, just stick to the damn subject, and they don't do it. I mean...
Yeah, I don't know. That's why I was trying to prevent this, I know.
Yeah.
Just stick to the topic that we're talking about in the VC. Don't type anything but what we're talking about right now. I mean, I don't know how hard it is.
Yeah, but they're not doing it, and they're not gonna do that. They're trolls. This is what they do. This is what they try to do with me all the time, wherever I go. It's up to you to decide on what to do in response to that, to have it have consequences, or to keep reminding them that they shouldn't be doing it, because they're not going to stop. They never will.
Yeah, I don't really see anything. What happened? I don't really see. You want children to join the army, Jeremy? I don't know what's that even mean? Now just stick to the topic, guys. Yo, they keep you broke. They keep us doing shit like this, keep us divided. You know what I'm saying? United we stand, divided we fall. That's literally America's motto. If we were all united, right now, that's when you...
Yeah, well, they don't care. They just want to do this. That's all they want.
Yo, guys, just keep the topics for what we're talking about in the VC. Like, I know you guys, some of you guys may be here trying to trigger people or whatever. We're talking about like holidays or something, or I don't know, something other than whatever you're talking about right now.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe they just all want to be blocked or something. Because, like, I'm not gonna tolerate your crap, dude. It's not gonna happen.
I'm reading it. I'm failing to see anyone attacking you in
yeah,
text.
well, I don't care. I don't care if you don't see it. I see it.
Just keep it to what we're talking about in the VC. Like, let's bring up a topic. Don't talk about my comment was on topic. Just
nobody
stop.
cares.
If it's not,
just stop. Yeah, we don't need to hear your 30-minute expose on why you didn't say what we're telling you, yeah? Just stop it. Stop. You understand the concept of stop?
Yo,
discontinue?
Arwen, just pick a topic, dude. Just pick a topic so we get on topic, or they're just gonna keep trying to like trigger you in the chat. Like,
yeah, they're not triggering me, but I'm just addressing it just for the record here.
That's what I say. Ignore it and laugh at them. They'll quit.
Yeah, let's just pick a topic, guys. Don't type anything in the chat unless it's on the VC topic, which we're about to pick right now. So I don't know if you should even anything should be getting typed right now. We're about to pick a topic right now. If you're listening to the VC, you'll know when we have something. And
yeah, well, the topics were one, Dexter rotation. We already moved on from that subject, and then we got back to the holidays, and now they were commercialized. Commercial exploitation of holidays.
On the moon.
Well, I think that for one might be I would like an explanation of why it's called dextro rotation. I don't know. It doesn't make sense to me why they call it rotation of any kind. I want to see what that's about. Do you know where I can find that information?
Google dextro rotation. I mean, seriously, dude. And it already addressed exactly why they called it that. Is because the original test was in a water tank with sugar dissolved into it.
It doesn't say why the rotation. Why rotation?
The rotation of the light.
Doesn't explain it.
A curve of the light path through it. They called it dextro rotation. I'm sorry if that does not appeal to your sense of aesthetics. Dude! I'm sorry if it doesn't appeal to your sense of aesthetics.
You get so mad.
Yeah, because you keep talking through me. Keep doing this. Just stop. Yeah. Call it dextro rotation exactly because what I just explained. They use sugar water and the light path appears to be rotating. That's why. You don't have to like it. You don't have to think it's accurate. It's called naming. They named it that. Yeah? Now you can disagree with that all you like, but that's what they named it.
I typed in dextro rotation and it doesn't say anything about refraction or density gradient.
Yeah, not my problem. Okay, that's interesting. Terry posted something that's actually relevant to the subject. Thank you, Terry. That's interesting. Okay, well, yeah, that's odd. Maybe those people that were originally trying to demonstrate the terrestrial refraction used the word dextro rotation incorrectly. It's still how it became familiar, though. That's still how it got around. They called it dextro rotation, but apparently dextro rotation has another meaning to it that preceded that. So that's interesting. I mean, you gotta blame the ballers for that. They called it that. It's not flat earthers named it that. The ballers that came to us to say, oh, see terrestrial refraction here, it's demonstrated. They called it dextro rotation, not us.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Well, and you hear the words dextro rotation, and that has some pretty heavy. I'm missing the word, but it implies a lot. You know, when you hear that, the rotation part, and you're talking about the globe versus flat, it could, if somebody's unfamiliar. And that has some, just in the back of their mind, skew their view a little bit.
Wow. Debatable D, you're a stupid bitch and now you're blocked. Fuck you. I didn't make up shit. Yeah? Lying bitch. This is why I blocked you from my channel originally, because you just lied. Nasty, nasty liar. Yeah? I didn't make shit up. I'm not the one who made up dextro rotation.
Don't let him get to you, Arwen. Just ignore him, bud. No, you don't need to get aggravated.
Liars make me angry, especially when they're at the gall to even sit here in this panel. Like they're part of it. You're not part of it. You're not part of my show. You got it? You're not going to be a part of my show.
This isn't show material here.
Didn't make shit up. Didn't make dextrorotation up. It's what it was called. When I was confronted with it, it's how it went around. Yeah, it might be inaccurate. I didn't make it up. So
That's
unless
what I'm
there
saying,
is
yeah,
a
you
more
always gotta
official,
check.
approved version of what it should be called, I'd love to hear it. But it's not terrestrial refraction. It's a specific setup. That's not the effect. The effect of terrestrial refraction is supposedly being demonstrated with the setup. The setup was named dextrorotation. Oh, that might be an inaccurate or incorrect naming. Well, it has to be named something else then. And until then, it's going to be called dextrorotation, even if it is incorrect. It can't be terrestrial refraction because that is the supposed effect that it is demonstrating. The setup cannot be named the effect that it's supposed to be demonstrating. That makes no sense. Cause and the effect cannot be the same thing. Alright.
Oh, sure can, Arwen. You never heard of gravity?
No, what's that?
Or
Move on.
electromagnetism. Right. It can't be the cause and the effect. Or buoyancy, right? You can't change buoyancy by itself. You have to change something else about it. Weird.
Alejandro asked what is terrestrial diffraction and never heard of that. Weird.
Radar uses that.
Okay. Never heard of it though.
I think it's ground propagating radar, or the radar beam tends to hug the Earth.
Okay.
It's talking about the density gradient. We could talk about why there's a gradient there.
There's a gradient there. Yeah, sure you could.
You said something interesting the other day. I'm just curious what your thoughts on it. What do you think? You said, I think you said density was fundamental, or what do you think density is, Arwen?
Density is the inherent property of matter that can exist and be a naturally occurring phenomenon because it exists in everything, while mass is a mathematically derived thing. And yeah, when you then mathematically start to define or quantify density, you're going to use mass per volume. But you can't take those things separately because mass and volume don't exist as a separate thing. You can never isolate those. Something always has a mass and a volume combined, never separate. While in gravity, it's supposedly mass that's getting attracted. But it's not a thing. It's this mathematically separated thing that doesn't actually exist. It's not a naturally occurring phenomenon in order to use it in a physics formula like that. And that's my original objection.
Can you have density without mass or volume?
Nope.
Okay. So how do you know it was density and not mass first? Or vice
Because
versa?
mass is not a naturally occurring phenomenon, as I just explained. Because it
The
can't
amount of something
exist
is not
separate.
The amount of something isn't natural?
No, that's not naturally occurring phenomenon. Math doesn't occur naturally. It's mathematically derived.
And volume isn't naturally occurring?
Nope,
You
it's
can't
not a
measure-
naturally occurring phenomenon either. It's not something happening. It's mathematically derived. It's calculated. It's not physics.
How do you determine what density is? How do you determine the density of an object?
By comparing it to another density. Then you have the density differential
No,
ratio, and that
that's circular.
determines the density.
Yeah.
It's circular.
No, it's not. That's how you define it. That's how you know what
No,
is
how
more
do you get
dense
the
and what is
density
less dense.
itself, though? How do you get the density itself of any of it?
Mm-hmm.
It's there. Everything has a density. And you highlight that by comparing densities and establishing density differential.
Everything has a mass too, and a volume. Anything physical.
Theoretically.
No,
But not everything
In
has weight,
actuality.
though.
I know. I never said that. Everything has mass. Everything has volume. Anything physical has mass, volume, and density. So they're all naturally occurring.
No, that's not what a naturally occurring phenomenon stands for. You're taking the word incorrectly. You're misapplying the concept of naturally occurring phenomenon.
Okay, define for me what natural.
I already did. I'm not
natural-
going to do it again. You're not interested.
Yeah, no, I am. Because
No,
I
you're
think
not,
all
because
three
I'm not going to keep repeating the same thing over and over again. You've been on this for 2 days now. I'm not going to play your game.
Well, I personally, I like if you're talking about the density of something, which by definition is the amount of stuff per volume, it's mass per volume, then how can you accept density by description but deny the components of it as being natural? That doesn't make sense to me.
I already
three
explained
of
that
those
it's
are-
because they cannot exist separately, which is what makes it a natural phenomenon. If it exists separately, like
density
self-sufficiently,
can't exist separately from mass and volume, and mass can't exist separately from volume.
no,
and
they are components of density, but you can't have something have a mass and not a volume.
And you can't have a density without a mass and a volume.
Yeah, but that's because that's the components of them. But density does exist as a naturally occurring phenomenon. Mass does not exist as a naturally occurring phenomenon because it's a component of something. It's not a whole thing. You can only establish it through mathematical derivation. It's not a naturally occurring phenomenon. And it's the last time I'm going to tell you.
You could just weigh it.
Yep, you can't get density without mass and volume. You can't get mass without density and volume, and you can't get volume without mass and density. So it's all circular. They all exist at the same time. None of them are independent of each other. So by that same definition of your natural phenomenon, all of them are natural phenomenon. They can't.
No,
exist
they're
without
not.
each
You
other.
don't understand what a natural phenomenon is.
Okay, go ahead and explain.
No,
it.
I already did that. I'm not going to do it again. And if you bring this up one more time, I'm muting you. I'm not going to waste my time with your bullshit. If you don't get it, you don't get it. I've explained it like
No, I'm
20
exploring-
times now. You don't seem to want to know. You keep reiterating an incorrect assessment of what a naturally occurring phenomenon is. I keep explaining to you what a naturally occurring phenomenon is, and then you disregard my explanation over and over again and reiterate the incorrect version. I'm not going to repeat myself.
You've never said what a natural phenomenon is.
And
That-
now
that-
you are muted. Shut the fuck up. Much better this way. everybody watching the show on Rumble. Hope you're liking it. Don't forget to Rogans it up. And hey, you want to interact with me and not be a troll asshole? You can try it on Earth Awakenings panel. But if you just act like Wesley, I'm just muting you. That's it. Right? Just like I'll ban you from my chat.
Arwen, doesn't that sort of ruin your show, though, to mute everybody that disagrees with you?
It's not about disagreeing, it's about repeating the same bullshit over and over again that's been addressed and not listening to it. It doesn't ruin my show at all. It prevents me from getting aggravated of dealing with people that are unwilling to listen. I don't want to deal with that. I don't care if they persist in getting it wrong. It's not my problem. Not gonna waste my time on that.
So what do you get more viewers from? Echo chamber, or debate?
Yeah, but the thing is, density is all shows us that in the amount of states we have of matter. When you go from solid to liquid to gas, the less denser it gets. So the at the ground and below sea level, we have the highest amount of pressure, and that's what a solid needs to be formed.
Ah, my mic cut out again. Hello, am I back? I'm back.
Spacing in between the matter, in between the element that changes, and it's determined by heat. But when with heat things expand, with cold things shrink. So that determines the amount of spacing in between the elements that are in the matter in the first place.
Yeah, temperature does influence density. But the whole point is that why Wesley keeps whining on about this is because he refuses to recognize that mass is a derived concept, is not a natural phenomenon. That's really the problem, and he refuses to understand it. He just misinterprets what naturally occurring phenomenon means. And when you define it, you have to basically, define it through mass versus volume. But, I mean, those things do not exist separately. You can only mathematically derive it. I mean, I'm explaining it to you now again. You know this, Grizzle. Everybody should know that.
Yeah, the volume is just determined by the expansion or compression of the matter itself.
Right. But volume, just like distance, is not a naturally occurring phenomenon. And they'll say that distance is a naturally occurring phenomenon. Can't be a distance, can't be a volume, it can't be mass, because they are derived things. They do not exist naturally. Can only be separated mathematically.
The wave is what the thing does, not what the thing is.
Right, and weighing, the process of weighing a material to see how much kilograms it has or grams.
When you have a glass of water and you have an ice cube in it, when you fill that water to the rooftop, when that ice is melted, that still doesn't flood over that glass. So that doesn't change anything about the matter of mass. It's just the way that it is presented.
Right. But yeah, I mean,
you can freeze water in a bottle easily.
Right, and it will expand, but the total material is still going to be there. It's not going to weigh differently. But as I was trying to explain, weighing is actually a relative density measurement. You're measuring the density of an object in its totality versus its medium average, which is going to be air, and then you quantify it through the pressure that it'll exert because of its relative density disequilibrium. That pressure will then be translated into a quantifiable weight amount, but it's effectively measuring relative density. You put that same object in water, the weight readout's going to be different. Doesn't mean that it literally changed its mass. It's just that the density ratio is different, which is going to cause a different relative density disequilibrium, which will then change the amount of pressure it exerts, which will give a different readout in weight. Because weight, too, is not a naturally occurring phenomenon. It's a derived concept. It's a quantification of relative density disequilibrium.
No, wait. If you freeze a volume of ice in a bowl and it weighs a pound, you put it in the freezer and you freeze it and you reweigh it.
A pound.
According to general relativity, it should weigh a different amount.
No, it'll weigh a pound.
No, according to general relativity, if you have more energy inside something, that means it has more mass, and it should weigh more.
Its volumes increase because it's less dense, but it weighs the same.
According to GR, that's why it doesn't weigh the same. According to GR, it should absolutely not weigh the same because, like I just said, if you add energy to mass, it weighs more, according to GR. Oh, you want to use Newton?
Oh, God.
You just want to use Newton?
Yeah, usually, just use Newton. We're just weighing ice while we're talking general relativity.
It involves the weighing of ice. Unbelievably, I know it's unbelievable. It involves the weighing of ice right here on Earth.
You'd have to prove that to me that it would be any different.
I'm just stating what relativity claims. Whether you can prove that or not is, why? How could I prove it? You guys say you can't prove anything in science.
Yeah, and besides, like, you could freeze water and then it will have the same weight, but now evaporate the water, keep it in a balloon, it's not gonna have the same weight because suddenly it has a dramatic density differential with the air. It's not gonna register any weight, yeah, even though the material's still there. So yeah, mass is not a default property. Density is, and it can be changed into another density, and then everything you derive from it. I'm not done yet. Everything you derive from, dude.
On, man.
Yeah. Oh my. Yeah. It's my show.
Just let him finish. Just let him finish.
It's my freaking show, dude. It's the same point anyway. God, a lot of callers are triggered
go
now.
ahead. I'll just sit back and listen.
Getting triggered ballers even in my Rumble chat about it. I mean, every time this comes up, they always do the same damn thing. Because they don't understand physics. They don't understand the discipline.
Doing a show right now, Wes. Arwen's in the middle of his show, yes.
Yeah, I got him on mute, so Wes is not going to be an auditory part of my show. You still hear him, but I don't. Alright.
Yeah, I posted it in the chat. Yes, technically hot items weigh slightly more due to added thermal energy explained by Einstein's E equals mc squared, but the difference is incredibly tiny. So that's what I'm saying. So, but I mean, technically it would have to weigh less once it melted, or more. It would have to weigh more once it melted because Einstein.
Yeah, but that's weird though, because what basically happens with water and ice, those states, is that in ice it's less dense. It's more because it takes up more volume. The same material takes up more volume because it becomes less dense, but
it still has when you then measure it, it's going to have roughly the same weight. Unless you hold on, unless you measure it in water, because ice is less dense than water, and so it's actually going to move upward within it. If you try to water weigh ice, it's going to have supposed negative weight.
Yeah, I can debunk W equals mg all day. It's not even an issue. But have you ever seen heavy water?
I've heard of it. I've not seen it.
Yeah, but you can make ice cubes that float.
Yeah, but
Or
all
sorry, you
ice
can make
cubes float, though.
You can make ice cube. Yeah, I know. You can make ice cubes that sink.
Oh, really? Oh, really?
Yeah, like I said, you gotta have that exact setup. So I think if you try to do the ice cubes in heavy water and the water be heavy water, I think they'll still float. Maybe, I don't know.
Oh, they float even more.
I know they'll sink if you do it in regular water and then the heavy water ice cubes.
Right, so heavy water really is a slightly more dense water, and the ice will also be slightly more dense than the ice of regular water. That's how it works, right?
Yep.
Interesting.
With the heavy water, has it got an extra hydrogen or something on it?
I don't know the nerd molecules.
On another year.
If you weigh ice or water in a vacuum, it's heavier than if you weigh it outside of a vacuum. And for me, that completely disproves gravity and proves density and buoyancy. If you weigh something in a vacuum, it's the heaviest. If you weigh something in the air, it's a little bit lighter. If you weigh something in the water, it's much lighter. It's all about the density of the object versus the medium that it's in.
Yeah.
So just to kind of explain it, you're taking material out of the vacuum, so it should be lighter in the vacuum according to the gravitational model because there's less there pulling down to the earth.
No, you're taking away the buoyant effect if you're removing the medium, and buoyancy is dependent on gravity to even be a thing.
No, it's not. You're just presupposing that.
No, that's fact.
No, it's not fact. You're presupposing
You can't calculate it. You can't work it out.
You can calculate it. I know. Yeah, but it's still presupposed. Gravity's not proven. It's actually not even claimed to be a force. I mean, do we need to go through all that again? We've done it for 10 years. Like, you want to prove that gravity's a force now? Really? Gonna do that again?
That's why you're not floating. It's why you're not floating.
No. No, it's because of density.
Hey, Arwen, just to answer his question, it has an extra proton and neutron. It's called deuterium instead of hydrogen.
Oh.
That's what makes it heavier, quote unquote, because it has an extra proton in it.
Oh, okay.
Okay, cool.
Good, thanks for that.
Now, which molecule has an extra proton? Is that the oxygen?
No, the deuterium. The deuterium itself. So instead of hydrogen in it, it's replaced with deuterium, and that is has an extra one.
See, hydrogen is just a proton in the nucleus, and I guess the deuterium is a proton and a neutron, right?
It adds a neutron, yeah, a proton neutron.
Oh, okay. Deuterium. Is deuterium natural? Like, what is that separately? I've never heard of like deuterium before.
Neither have I. It is natural though. It's an isotope of hydrogen.
So it's just like a bunch of hydrogen around with an extra neutron. Where does it come from?
It comes from water, rain, rivers, organisms.
So it's just in the water. It's always been there. It's not like a reason like how it is formed or anything.
Maybe it's just I don't know. That's a good question. It might have been just
Is there any way to like make deuterium out of hydrogen? Like with radiation or something? Or the opposite?
That's a good question. I don't think so. Well, I mean, technically, you could recreate anything, I guess. So yeah, it exists naturally, but I guess if you like add components to something, then yeah. And it does say that natural water just contains it. It's called D2. Oh. Through electrolysis.
Did you guys say that's just natural somewhere, or do we have to like
Through
make that
electrolysis, you could do it. And
Yeah, but is that
what?
like, is there like a puddle or a lake somewhere or something, or is that like natural anywhere, this heavy water thing, or do we got to specifically make that on purpose?
Yeah, I think it's like mixed in with in between all the irregular water. It's just been there,
Right.
but apparently always.
So like if you were to just go get a scoop full of the ocean, there'd be like a couple drops. Would
It's
be
like it's
that.
like one per so many atoms of it. You know what I mean? Like, or whatever of it. It's one out of thousands of hydrogens is one deuterium. That's what it says.
Right, well, how to get heavy water is by extracting it from regular water, is what I've learned, so that makes sense. That it's just in between all the water everywhere.
Yeah. So I guess you could do like distillation or something.
Something like that.
Do we have any water physicists around? Just kidding. That even makes sense.
No, water's a crazy substance. We'll die without it, first of all.
Yeah, and it has
So
so
it's
many
super
weird
important.
states on top of that.
I
Yeah,
saw
there's just a lot of.
Sorry, go ahead.
What's up?
Well,
No, I was
there's
saying I saw this weird thing you could put like on a nightstand or something, and it's the way the light reflects off this water streaming down. It makes it look like bubbles are going up, like drops, raindrops, but big drops, big water drops, and it's in real time, and it looks like they're going upwards, but you put your finger under it, and it's a run of water. It's just a stream of water coming down, but the way the light affects off the water, it makes the water go upwards, and then it looks like drops are going up. It's really weird.
Can you get a video of this?
Oh
Yeah,
yeah. I know that effect.
Yeah, let me.
It's
the one where they
just,
play
but
the
it's just
sound.
like a wheel spinning so fast that it then seems to spin the other direction. It's that effect. It's a frame rate.
I like the one with water where I think it has to do with like sound or frequency and the frame rate of the camera, and it makes it look like the water's like zigzagging.
Yeah.
You see that one?
Look I'll put it in the side chat. You could buy it. It's a thing you could buy. I was gonna get it for my kids for Christmas.
Bro,
but
what does the side chat mean? Oh, okay, I see it.
Yeah, it's
Oh,
it's
that
cool,
just looks
bro.
dope. Right off the right off the jump from the thing. Yeah.
It's like drops of water going upwards, bro. It's weird. I was gonna buy it.
Yeah, they got that kind of thing at like
Is that
special
water, or
fountains.
The water's
Yeah.
actually going up.
Yeah, it's water.
No, it's going down,
It's
but
going
it's
up.
because of the frame rate that
Yeah.
it just seems to go up.
See how she's putting her finger in it and she's tapping the water? It's a stream of water going down, but like he says, the frame rate is the way the light is on it. It's going up. It's weird, bro. Like you can see that in real life. Put it on your dresser. Pretty cool.
Yeah, it's nuts.
Light does some crazy stuff, bro. Could make things look really weird.
Oh, you ever see the one where they got the ruler hanging off a little bit, and they'll do it in the light, and then they'll look one way, and then they'll bring it to the shade, and then they'll do the same thing like right next to it and hit it again, and it looks completely different. Yeah.
Yeah, I seen that before. That's weird. It's really wobbly, but then when you change it, it's
Yeah, it just looks totally different. It's a totally different effect from if you do it in the sunlight or if you do it in
the shade.
In the shade.
Yeah, but heavy water freezes at 4 degrees Celsius, and the regular water freezes at 0 degrees Celsius. So that's the reason why that thing sinks to the bottom.
All right, what else? What you got? APOC, look alive.
That's all.
Look alive. This is the best hour you're gonna get with APOC. He's not drunk yet.
Bro,
we got 1 hour with APOC. If we want to do anything serious, this is the time.
I'm not yelling. I'm not, my voice is all tamed. I'm just not excited. I just woke up, man. I'm just not excited yet.
Yeah, get excited.
Well, it's been good.
Blood done.
I think it's been pretty good so far.
Glover's ignorance triggers me, and then I get all weird.
That's what you're gonna eat for breakfast, Glover ignorance.
Yeah, that's my energy drink, bro.
It's not a very good diet.
Not at all. I lose weight though. There's a lot of cool stuff online.
Well, Sinclair said he's got one of those big foam hands and some pom poms, and he said he's here for you. He said, "Let's go, APOC, APOC."
What up, Sin?
He's just here to see you. He said you're the GOAT.
He likes hearing me smash on Glovers. Yesterday, I rage quitted. I left the server, Riggs. He muted me. I was like, fuck you. I was angry.
I mean, bro, you need to be muted sometimes, to be fair.
Well, that guy Helios? Like, he told me to shut up. I'm like, dude, don't tell him to shut up. I'll strangle you.
Yeah, you can't do that.
I know.
Wow, look at Wesley quoting something without even biology inside. Oh, I'm sure that's gonna tell you everything about physics, Wesley. There's nowhere to go with this. You're not gonna make yourself right and us incorrect.
Wouldn't there be some kind of natural phenomena that's keeping the matter compact like that, whether it be the strong nuclear force, gravity? Surely there would be some phenomena that would be causing the density to even happen, no?
Well, yeah, it's the overall pressure in the entire system that keeps the density of material stable.
I mean, I got a citation from Purdue or Penn State or something saying that all molecular and intermolecular attractive forces are electrostatic by nature, which would be causing density to happen, right? I don't know.
Yeah, it's molecular and thermal motion.
Yeah, I would just have to assume that there's some underlying natural, some phenomena happening to make the matter even stick together like that. Something, I don't know.
Yeah, it's called thermal motion with the molecular diffusion.
I mean, you're not actually seeing anything, so you I don't know what you're gonna be looking for, but the matter's sticking together. So I don't know. Normally for a phenomena, something needs to happen. You know what I'm saying? If you're just looking at matter, nothing's really happening.
Yeah.
So I mean,
ironically, it says that thermal energy beats gravity at the molecular level. Ironically. It beats it. It's stronger than gravity. So you wanna counter gravity? Just say diffusion. It's stronger than gravity.
Okay, Wesley, now you're blocked. I mean, you just need to know when to stop. Just stop. But, I mean, he's a ball tart, so he's not gonna know when to stop.
You seem to like want to address him a lot, even though you say you don't want to address him, so...
Well, I thought that we resolved it, and then he has to come back with his bullshit, and so, blocked. Done.
It kind of sounds like you're still throwing punches, but you've put an artificial wall where he can't pass by and punch you back, but you're still trying to swing, even though you said you're not interested. You're clearly interested.
Yeah, but he's just making backhanded remarks. Like, I didn't do that. He does that. Oh, it doesn't fit your worldview, so you're going to ignore it. Yeah, that's exactly what you're doing, and I'm blocking you. Because I don't want that shit on my screen. I don't want that shit on my screen. It's very simple. Yeah, I'm streaming this.
Your worldview obviously doesn't work with the what we call, I guess, mainstream. So
mainstream.
Anything that you accept to be true in physics, the way it's defined, then it destroys your worldview.
No, it doesn't.
It might be more somebody building a straw man to burn it down.
Probably.
Like they usually do. They love doing that.
Yeah, but they want naturally occurring phenomenon, which is very specific, very rigid in physics, to be anything. They wanted anything to be declared a naturally occurring phenomenon, distance, mass, all these things, but they are clearly not. They refuse to accept it. They'll cite anything that's not really a viable source, right? Biology is not going to give you physics definitions. That's ridiculous. And yeah, they just don't want to give up, and I don't want to keep entertaining their unwillingness to let it go. And if you're going to shove that in my face...
Biology, though, right? Is physics involved in biology?
Scientifically, no. It's not. It has no relation. It's very different.
That's not true, man. Physics is what governs everything that we see and do, and everything in biology and everything in machinery and technology. Physics is involved in everything in the universe.
Yeah, I'm sure it is, but it's not relevant to biology sciences. It's a different category. They do not relate.
I would say anything physical is physics. It's going to involve physics, no? Even shit like light, magnetism, shit like that. Electrostatics, I would have that all under physics. If I had to make a tree, right, of stuff and like that sounded sciencey, I would have physics at the bottom, like the very bottom of the tree, and then have everything stem off of that.
I'm sure, but I mean, biology is a different category as physics. So a biology science website is going to tell you something about physics. I'm going to take it with a grain of salt because it's not its domain. Oh, look, another asshole wants to be blocked immediately. Bye! They're all showing up. Right, I'm going to round out the show because it's just trolls trying to shove themselves in the chat right now. I don't want to keep dealing with it.
You let text chat govern your conversation, or ignore the chat and talk about whatever you want to talk about.
No, I've already done that. I mean, I've been going for almost 3 hours and kind of run out. I want to get some lunch before it gets too late. So I appreciate the conversations, though. It's just trolls are annoying. And I mean, what I could do next time that I come on is just not have the Discord on screen. So they can all go fuck themselves and just blabber their bullshit, and it's not going to be in my show because I specifically don't want it on my screen. I don't want their troll crap on my screen, and that's it. And if they do not care to respect that, then, well, I guess I'll just take the Discord chat off the screen and you can all go fuck yourselves. How about that? Now I won't read it. Now I won't respond to
not
it.
in the right spirit today.
I don't know. I just don't want to deal with them all the time. Yeah, you're not part of my show. You're not gonna be part of my show. It's that simple.
Okay, just an observation. Generally, your show consists of you interacting with your text chat primarily. And then, it's, of course, there are some things you're sharing your ideas and describing things that you think. Now, I do think that coming into Discord and EA, as long as it's okay with Jeremy and Geo, probably is going to boost your views. It's also maybe I enjoy it when you come in. We can talk and banter and argue.
Appreciate that.
And it's kind of fun. And so, yeah, we could. I think it would be good all around. Just don't let that text chat eat you up.
No, don't worry. It's not going to eat me up because it's no longer going to be on screen. That's the only reason why they do it, you see? That's why I had to block them, because they're forcing themselves on my screen in my show, and I don't want that. But I've decided that it's just not going to be a part of the screen anymore. And then it doesn't matter what they do. I can literally now unblock all their crap and, like, just not respond to it at all. I guess I'll just do that. They can all go fuck themselves. Won't have to address it. Won't have to complain about them forcing myself on my screen. I can just unblock them and ignore them. So they can just blabber on with their bullshit and go away again. It's all fine. Yeah. But anyway, I am rounding out the show. So thanks guys for being part of Flat Earth Early Bird number 2487. So nice set of Flat Earth oriented discussions. And a little bit about holidays and how they're being commercially exploited. Hope you liked it too. Yeah. Thanks for being part of the panel, and I guess I'll see you guys the next time.
Alright.
Alright, see ya. There's the Discord chat back without the assholes. Alright. Man, almost 3 hours again. Shows keep getting very long with the added panel. Hope you guys appreciate it. I mean, it is interesting, it is stimulating. It's just these people just always trying to shove themselves on my screen. Oh, they must be part of the early bird chat. You just have to be there. It's so pathetic. It's pathetic. You're not part of my show. You never will be. Nobody wants to see you but you. Right? Anyway, I'm rounding out the show because I'm gonna get some lunch. So thanks everyone for coming. Hope you liked this show. I thought it went great, despite the trolls. If you like the show too, then don't forget to Rogan's it up. And if you haven't already, follow me here on Rumble and be here when I'm going live, which is normally 2 p.m. Amsterdam time every day. And please also do support me through the PayPal, Patreon, Gifts and Go. Links are in the description box below, or send me super chat over at the Rumble live chat when the show is live, or subscribe to my channel. Support me that way. Any support would be greatly appreciated. I can really use it. Please support your local Arwin. Right. I'll be back tomorrow with Flat Earth Early Bird number 2488 on a Monday. Hope to see you all again then. And until the next video, keep it flat.